Hello, welcome back to GP's Odds and Ends. Jessica here. So on my left hand here, I still have my April Showers Mani. We're going to be doing Mayflowers. These are the colors I will be using. That's from there was a Paris collection, or postcards from Paris by Referral Nails. That's what we'll be using today, 2 colors from that collection. I'm starting with this really light green. I'm going to be doing some water decals later on as well, because this is part 2 of our April Showers Mayflowers Mani. So of course we have to represent flowers this time around. So I'm speeding this up quite a bit. I'm just doing my normal dip powder process with this green color. I'm going to do 3 layers on just my ring finger and thumb for the decals. So that's going to be the background color that will be under the decals that I'm using later. And then I'm going to use the other color, LiQWYD, which is a glitter color, on my other 3 nails. So I just wanted to have a little bit of sparkle in this one. And again, if you want to check out the other Mani, that was out a few videos ago for the April Showers. You can see where that was kind of, I had to change it up a little bit, but we're just going to keep going with this Mani. I'm going to go ahead and finish up the green color. And I need to start being a little bit more careful as far as, because I do use Peel Base. The Peel Base makes the base coat dry really, really quickly. And I keep forgetting to kind of put a layer of the base coat on my whole nail before and let that dry before I go in with dip powder. That'll help it not dry so fast, so that when you dip into the powder the first time, it's not kind of splotchy or bare in certain spots, because that's the issue that I kind of keep running into, and that's why I kind of had to fix fix some areas on my along the sidewall of like my thumb and my ring finger, because it kind of dried too fast. But then once you get into the second and the third layer, it starts to look a little bumpy. So doing a full layer of base coat first will kind of help that from happening. And you will see here, I think I kind of forget again on the first nail that I do for this color, but then I do go in and do just a layer of base coat onto the remaining 2 nails before I went in and did a layer of, or the first layer of the glitter. Now I am using my cupcake liner here to do a pour over method on this glitter. It's not a super chunky glitter. There's very few bigger pieces in in the glitter, but pouring over kind of helps you get a nice even layer. So if you get like any of the chunkier pieces, it's not gonna be too bulky on the nail. This was a very easy glitter to work with, even though it did have some, a few chunkier pieces here. And you could, even on that final layer, add a little bit of the base coat to your nail and kind of pick out the chunkier pieces and place them where you want. I didn't do that. I like the way that it looked by the 3rd layer, so I just left it as is. But it is a very pretty color, and it was easy to work with. Also, I forgot to mention, you probably saw that after I did the green color, I did put activator on the green before I started working with the glitter, and that's just to make sure that the green is nice and hardened, so that if any glitter falls on it, it'll just easily brush off when I use the scrubby brush or the fluffy brush there. It would just easily come off of the nail and not kind of stick into that dip powder, so that I don't have a random glitter on that flat cream color. All right, and here is where I'm using the scrubby brush to really kind of clean off the nails and any loose dip powder from my skin or anything like that. I did do that on the cream color first and then the glitter so that I'm not transferring anything over. And I'm going to go ahead and top everything with clear. Sometimes I'll do it a little bit different. Sometimes I'll go in and I'll do the decal first and then cap with clear. Because the cream color was kind of bumpy from the application, I wanted to file everything first before I did the decal, because if I had to do too much filing, I didn't want to file the decal off at all. So that's kind of why I did it this way this time around. So I am using the clear to kind of protect the color and the glitters before I go in with any of the filing. And then I'm going to file, shape, and buff and everything off camera, and everything will look a little bit nicer when I come back. Alright, so I'm going in with a full layer of the activator on each nail so that everything is nice and hardened before I go in and do any of the filing. And here we are, all nice and filed and shaped and buffed. I'm going to clean off all of that filing dust with some alcohol. And here are the decals that I'm going to be using. So I thought it would be a kind of a cute decal to use because it just kind of looks like the flowers are growing from the grass that's, you know, at the bottom. So I thought it would be perfect representation of like the April showers brings the May flowers, so that all the flowers are starting to grow and look pretty outside for spring. So I was just kind of trying to line up on like where it would kind of fall on my nail. I want to make sure that I'm cutting a wide enough strip to cover from sidewall to sidewall. Since the backing is not clear, it's a little bit hard to kind of tell where it's going to probably lie off, and or line up sidewall to sidewall, and you kind of need to make sure that you have enough, since there's a curve to your nail as well. So I did put some water into that little like cover that's on the table as well. So once I cut out the decal, I will need to let that sit in water for about 10 to 15 seconds, and then I'm going to place it on my stamper so that way I can clearly see where the decal is going to lie on my finger. So I find that this is a really easy way to make sure that the decal ends up exactly where you want it to be laying on your nail. And I just switched out the paper towel. There was a little bit of glitter on the other one, and I didn't want that to transfer onto the stamper at all. I'm also going to put a layer of my sticky base coat. Since the dip powder is dry and smooth, the decal's not going to just stick to that surface on its own, so it needs something to stick to. So I like to use the sticky base coat. You could probably also use the base coat from the dip powder. You may need to let it dry a little bit just so that it's not too wet or tacky when you transfer the stamp over, but the sticky base coat works quite well. I'm just kind of pressing that down. It is a little bit longer and goes over the free edge, so I'm going to kind of like melt that piece of the decal away with a little bit of acetone on this brush. And I'm just being very careful to kind of run that just under my nail and not along the surface, because if I hit the surface where the decal actually is on my nail, it could come off. So I'm just trying to be very careful here. And that'll just kind of give you like the perfect edges of that decal as well. So I think that looks quite pretty, and I think it matches well with the glitter as well. So I'm going to go ahead and do the same exact thing on my thumb. I'm going to cut out the decal, place that in the water, let that sit for about 10 to 15 seconds, transfer that to the stamper, use my sticky base coat, and then transfer that to my thumb. So the thumb was a little bit trickier to do. I was just trying to use my little finger rest there to try to stabilize my thumb a little bit, because it's a little bit more of an awkward angle the way that I wanted to place the decal on, so that it looks like the nails are growing up from the free edge. But we got it, so I'm happy. I'm going to go ahead and do the same exact thing and clean some of the edges or along the free edge with the acetone, to make sure that we have a nice fit, and then we will move on. Okay, so since I already kind of capped all of my nails in clear, I will need to go in with another layer of activator on all of the nails to make sure that the top coat is shiny. So what I'm doing here to protect the decal, to make sure that the activator does not remove any of the decal, I'm putting a layer of the base coat just across the surface of those two nails, to act as a little bit of a barrier, so that I can go in with the activator and then the top coat on all of the nails and make sure that that's still all nice and shiny. So you can see here with the activator, that's not ruining the decal at all. It's not messing up the color or bleaching it out or anything, because I've had that happen in the past. If you kind of put the activator straight on the decal, it could mess it up a little bit. And I finally have my lint-free wipes here, so I'm just wiping off any activator residue from my skin or anything like that. And I think I needed to let the base coat dry a little bit more on those two nails that have the decal. And I'm going to go ahead and go in with the top coat. So for the dip powder process, we want to do just 2 to 3 swipes or 3 to 4 swipes from cuticle to free edge on every single nail. Wipe off the brush in between before you put it back in the bottle. And then you can go in and do a more thorough layer. So I did the glitter nails first, and that was just to let the, make sure the base coat on the 2 decal nails was completely dry and everything before I went in with the top coat. Alright, so we are done with the top coat. I'm just going to make sure that that dries for a good 3 to 5 minutes. And here everything is nice and dry now, so I go in with my cuticle oil. Make sure my skin gets the moisture back that it needs after using the activator and acetone and alcohol and things like that. That really dries my skin out, so I want to make sure that it's nourished, rehydrated and everything. And I really love the cuticle oil pens. I've probably said this in the past as well, but it really kind of gets in all of those crevices between your nail bed and your skin without kind of putting too much or so much cuticle oil that your skin kind of feels too greasy since it is oil. But the Candi Skin Care line is really nice. I've never felt like it was too greasy of a feel or anything like that. It's a very nice, soft, makes your skin feel very nice and soft afterwards. So here we have the finished look. I know it's a little bit more spring colors. I like the pink and the purple flowers with the green. I think that's super pretty, and I think the glitter matches really well as well. So we have our April showers, May flowers. Thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe, and until next time, bye for now.